Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's ASA Abloy Academy virtual instructor-led training on lead-lined, watertight, and stainless steel specialty doors and frames. My name is Katie Flower with the Academy. I just want to run through a few logistics with you before I hand it over to your presenters. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, on your Zoom panel, there is a Q&A. Feel free to type it in at any time, and I'll get those relayed to the presenters. Within 24 hours after this presentation is over, you will receive an email thanking you for your attendance. You can use that email as proof for continuing education credit if you need to. And this session is being recorded. It will be up on the ASA Abloy Academy site for you to review as frequently as you need to. Our speakers today are Howard Schreier and Mark Strout, and I will let them take it from here and give you a little more introduction of themselves and the.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks.
Thanks, Katie. Appreciate it, and thanks for letting us put on this session. So, if you want to go to the next slide, we can just give you a quick outline of what we're going to do. We'll talk a little bit about our team and who we are and kind of what our responsibilities are, and then obviously go into the deep dive on the products that we'll be speaking of today, which is lead-lined, stainless steel, and watertight, and then just quickly review some of the tools that we've created for our customers, end users, architects, and so forth, and then finally we can open up to some questions. So gonna kind of breeze through these slides, but there's a lot to talk about. So we appreciate, again, everyone coming on. So to begin, the team, if you want to click onto the next slide. Again, my name is Howard Schreier. I'm General Manager here of Specialty and Integrated Solutions within the ASA Abloy's Door Group. I've also got Mark Strout on the line, who's our Manager of Technical Services, but is deeply ingrained in our front-end process within our team. And what I mean by front-end is just on the quoting process, the order processing, and project management. So Mark has got just extreme deep knowledge of our products and our processes, and he'll actually be taking the bulk of this webcast to really deep dive our products. But with that, just a kind of quick sort of introduction as to who we are and what we do. We are a team of 20 folks, where our overall responsibilities are to oversee the sales and technical support of all specialty products that are being sold via the Door Group through our driver brands. And the driver brands are Seco, Curry's, and Fleming up in Canada. We also actually sell through the service centers and newly through Pioneer. Between the 20 of us, we've got a tremendous amount of technical expertise and really can dig deep into any of these products or opportunities. So we've got roughly about 275 years of technical expertise within this team. So not only do we understand the products, we understand the market that these products are sold within. Something that we always like to promote are our project management and shop drawing capabilities. We've got a handful of project managers on the team that what they do on a daily basis is put together shop drawings that are submitted for architectural approval. So although many of our customers have robust engineering systems, lots of folks are intimidated by these products just due to their technical nature and also due to their cost. So we take on that responsibility as far as shop drawings go at no additional cost to the project. And then finally, R&D, research and development, something that we take a lot of pride on here within ASA Abloy. It's all about innovation. So we are constantly at the lab, again, on a consistent basis, either expanding our product lines or adding new product to our product line. So obviously we had a hiccup in 2020, but we have indeed gotten back to the lab this year. In fact, we were at the acoustic lab just last week testing some more of our products. So next slide. And again, this is just a quick snapshot of the team. Don't have to go through everybody, but at the very least, you can put some some faces to the names. On the estimating side, to the left hand, is run by Ross Salford, who's our lead estimator. Then project management, as we had spoke to, these are the folks that are putting together the shop drawings on a daily basis. It's really led by our two senior project managers, Einar Gangstad and Hector Bartolini. And then finally, customer experience. These are the folks that primarily have the contact with customers. Don't have to introduce every one of them, but the highlight really is more on our customer service team. You can see to the bottom left with Amy Hankins and Teresa Brown, both split the country and do a fantastic job in staying in customers' faces on a consistent basis. So with that, again, just a quick snapshot of the team. From here, I'll turn it over to Mark Stroh, who will take us through a somewhat of a deep dive of the products that we'll be speaking to today. Mark?
Thank you, Howard. Check and make sure I'm off mute. All right. I'll start with the continuum for the ASSA ABLOY door group, and it ranges anywhere from your conventional core hollow metal, fire rated, and entry point type products all the way up to our right door and right slide. As you can see here, the bolded and highlighted underlined products, those are the ones that fall within the specialty team. Howard and I manage and direct that team. Today we're going to talk about 3 items, and we'll start with the lead lining. Lead line products really are carte blanche. If it's lead lined out there, we can do it. We have multiple thicknesses. The most common of those are a 32nd to a 1/4 inch thick. We have supplied thicker levels of lead. These doors are all 1 3/4 inches thick, so you do not have to worry about customizing your hardware with spindles, etc. for a thicker door. Frames are also lead lined. We can lead line them in a couple different ways on different rabbets or the full throat of the frame. All gauges are available. And don't forget, we also offer a wood door. Our lead lined wood doors can carry a lead up to 1/8 of an inch thick. Stainless steel, we're going to talk about that today also. And the stainless steel, really, it's not only for the aesthetics, but we will separate that between appearance and then corrosion resistant and what the differences are. The steels are a 304 and 316 with a multiple of finishes available also. They're all grained finishes or mirror. Sizes, configurations, elevations, etc. Carte blanche. Again, stainless steel is one of our product lines. If it's out there, we can do it. And again, these are hybrids. Because ASSA ABLOY offers so many specialty products, we can overlay these requirements. If you have a specialty and a sound, a stainless steel bullet blast, any of the product lines that we handle, we can overlay those requirements onto a specific assembly and combine these requirements.
Hey, Mark, there was a question that came in about what wood door company does ASSA ABLOY utilize for their specialty products. So if you want to take that, I can take that, whatever you'd like.
Sure, I'll jump in there real quick. Yeah, we have joint ventures with Eggers Industries. That joint venture has stood for well over 30 years. We go to the lab together, we test together, and the products that are tested as assemblies are sold through ASSA ABLOY. Our sound products, our lead line products, bullet resistant products, those are offered under ASSA ABLOY brands and carry the warranty and support that you would normally be used to from the ASSA ABLOY metal products. The wood products would fall under those same warranties. Thank you for the question. Water resistance, we're also going to talk about this today. Water resistance is a sealed component, meaning the door is sealed within itself, and the frame is a complete sealed unit also. These are available in 16 and up gauges. The advantages of these things are they're pest resistant, corrosion resistant, watertight. They actually, what does this mean to be a sealed component? You can actually take that door, put it under water, and water will not get into the core of the door. So we will go into depth on that product also today. So we'll go back to the lead line doors and frames, and we'll jump into this. Again, as we mentioned, Lead thicknesses vary greatly. We've seen lead thicknesses up to 1/2 of an inch. If it's out there, we can do it. Custom frame profiles, doors with visions, side lights, transoms, borrowed lights, all of it is available. Fire rating capabilities, also up to 3 hours, are available in our fire rated doors and frames. The doors are a steel stiffened core. The reason being is that the stiffeners hold the lead together in the center of the door and keep it from drooping over time inside the door to keep that protection for a very long period of time of the life of the door. Here are the different frame, just some examples of some frame profiles and the different lead lining. Typically, a room is lead lined inside the room. And if that door swings into the room, you would pick on that center lead lined area that we put the lead. You want that protection to continue from the lead lined wall through the face of the frame and then wrap around the rabbet so that the lead in the door will overlap it. Radiation, which is the main reason for protection of lead lining out there, is directionally challenged, if you will. Radiation goes straight. If it hits lead, it doesn't bounce. So it's more like light than water going through in an opening. And as long as those lead layers overlay each other, you will have a full protection. So if that door swung out of that lead lined room, you'd pick the profile on the left, the lead lining opposite door side. Again, you want that lead lining to get all the way to the door so that the overlay of the lead in the door and the frame create your continuous layer. The profile on the right there, where you want it to be lead lined throughout the whole throat of the frame, that would be where you have a door swinging from a lead lined room to another lead lined room. Let's say there's 2 MRI rooms next to each other and there's an adjoining door. That would be a condition where you would want the whole throat lead lined. For the doors, we supply these doors less glass. The glass is supplied by Section 8800, not by the door and frame manufacturer. There are multiple thicknesses of lead lined out there, and depending on if they want it smoked or not, or mirrored finish, or whatever they would like on that lead lined glass, we can accommodate those thicknesses. On the right side there, you'll see profiles of our kits. They are an integral part of the door. This allows our lead lining to get up into the stop of the vision kit itself, so that when you add that lead lined glass, again, you have that overlapping protection, creating a continuous barrier. So the frames and doors for lead lining up to 1.5 hours. We do have some options for 3 hours. 1.5 hours is a wide breadth of these products and conditions. They all can get 1.5 hours. If you need 3 hours, then we will limit some limitations start coming into the product line. We can go to a 4090, 8090 pairs. Gauges, again, 16 to 12 gauge. Heavier gauges are available. We would go into those on a design build type job specific application. Jam depths, back bends, etc. Basically, they carry the same limitations as your conventional hollow metal. Doors follow suit. The doors are gauged 18 to 16 gauge. Remember, these are steel stiffened cores. You can get that core with added insulation. We can put bad insulation in there. We can put styrene insulation. However, that's going to be around the steel stiffeners. The steel stiffeners hold the lead in place. At pairs, we offer also a lead lined astragal. It's basically 2 pieces of steel that sandwich a piece of lead. All of our lead is concealed, so you do not have to worry about any requirements for exposed lead. It is not exposed, it is concealed. And again, like we mentioned, the vision kits are also available. We're rolling on to stainless steel doors and frames. We see a lot of applications in these. You're going to have either aesthetics, meaning I want it to look pretty. I want something, in a lobby, in a museum area, next to an elevator to match, something like that. Or you're going to run into corrosion resistance requirements, which stainless steel is very good for. pool area, high humidity, near an ocean front where it's salt, atmosphere, etc. We'll talk about that in a couple slides. We'll give you some spec considerations. We'll talk about the types and finishes of both of these applications. We'll show you the vision kits and talk about the fire ratings. So corrosion resistance really is your high humidity, chemical or salt type atmospheres, or if it's getting washed down on a regular basis. If you have a clean room type application, maybe you've got it in the kitchen of a restaurant where it is continuously being exposed to cleaners and washed down, you're going to look for that corrosive resistance. That'll be the 316 stainless. We'll talk about that in a minute. The highly stylized, again, casinos, hotel lobbies, museums, office buildings, etc. That's your high aesthetic purpose for stainless steel. All right, some spec considerations. That 304 316 stainless. What's the difference? That they both look basically the same. If they have them side by side, the normal person probably would not be able to tell the difference. The difference is the 316 has more molybdenum and nickel in the ingredients of the stainless steel. These components, these ingredients, if you will, add to the corrosion resistance. So for that aesthetic purpose, you'd go with a 304. For that corrosive environment, you'd go with 316. Remember, they're corrosive resistant. That does not mean they're corrosive proof. These doors still require regular maintenance and cleanup. Everything rusts, included in stainless steel. Don't be fooled by that. But the door will, the lifetime of the door will be greatly extended using stainless steel, using that 316 in that corrosive environment. The finishes that we offer are a brushed finish. That would be like a number 4 finish. A 2B is a mill finish. We've got a mirror finish. It's not a true mirror like glass mirror. It is steel and there is tolerances to the flatness of the door, etc. So the mirror is your reflection is a little distorted. Obviously, it's still a mirror finish. That's why they call it that. But it's not a perfect glass finish. So again, another thing not to be fooled by. Satin finish is a very soft grain. And then an XL blend, which is a very common finish in Canada. If you are in north of the border, north of the US border, you will most likely see XL blend instead of number 4 finish. They're very similar, side by side. The trained eye can tell the differences, but untrained eye may not see the difference. They may say, looks a little different, but not be able to pick out exactly why. So at number 4 in XL blend, it is something to keep in mind depending on where you are located, where your project is located. These door core constructions, polystyrene, steel stiffened, lead lined, again, we can combine them with other things. All of our specialty doors are seamless edge. Again, multiple gauges, up to 3-hour fire ratings. Again, over that 1.5 hour, we do start getting into some restrictions on core design and sizes, etc. But those fire ratings are available out there. And the interior components of the door for the 304, which is your aesthetics, that would have a galvanized components inside. No need to pay for that extra stainless steel components inside. But for your corrosive resistance, if you're ordering 316, you should be specifying and ordering stainless steel internal components and anchorage, etc. You don't want a part of the assembly rusting or corroding where the rest of it's hanging up. That's just no good. Here's a quick sample of the finishes. As you can see, the XL blend on the right is very similar to the number 4 on the left. Sample is really hard to depict the differences. Trained eye would tell the difference. So make sure you know the differences. And then mirror finish in the middle, a little distorted, but pretty mirror-like. We offer samples on all these products on a job-by-job basis as needed. Here's the vision kits we talked about. There are multiple. The one in the lower right, that's your Watertight type application. We'll be talking about Watertight shortly. But again, the SGMSS and SGMSS 5-9, those all have are adjusted for different glass thicknesses, as you can see in the codes. Fire rating capabilities, here's a quick snapshot. I'm not going to read through it all, but basically you have up to a 3-hour. We have up to a 4.0/10.0s. Transom panels are available, multiple gauges, standard frame faces from 1 inch to 4 inches and anything in between. Throats of frames, single rabbets can be as small as 2 inches, double rabbets up to 14 and 5/8. That's not 5/18, 5/8. And any anchorage component can be out there. Metal stud, steel stud, existing wall anchors, etc. We offer it all. Frames, again, transom, side lights, multiple sizes. A lot of your same limitations as hollow metal. The big item is your overall sizes. They are a little bit smaller for stainless steel. Window frames, again, go right down the same list. Lock seam doors are also available with fire ratings. They would have a honeycomb or polystyrene construction. Most orders that we offer upgrade right away to a seamless edge door. There's a very small cost increase to take it there, and it just finishes your door out. Just a little bit nicer at the end of the day. Stainless steel fire rating capabilities continued on your seamless edge. Again, the limitations are laid out. As we get into jobs, we can break down specific orders. Fusible link louvers would be the thing to do in a louver type condition. Water resistant and sanitary doors. All right, we talked about these as a sealed component. Basically, every hardware prep, every strike, hinge, etc., they all have a individually sealed compartment inside the door and frame. No water will get into the core of that door. No water will get into the wall through the frame. This is great for clean room type of environments, areas that are used to a regular wash down, like a lab environment, etc. Vision kits are also available, and they are also watertight. These can be corrosion resistant. You can order these in a stainless steel or conventional hollow metal. And again, your stainless steel would be for your heavier humidity and corrosion type areas. This is great for laboratories and marine areas, swimming pools that get washed down on a regular basis. It keeps your product from rusting inside out. Here's a sample of our tech data sheet. As you can see on the right side there, upper top, we've got the chamber for the lock. It's a completely sealed unit, and the hinge and the strike. They're all, every single hardware prep receives one of these. That allows you to basically put the door underwater, the frame underwater, and water will not pass through it. The vision kits are typically sloped, as you see in the upper left hand. That is because clean room environments, you do not want a flat surface for mildew or chemical residue from wash down to pile up. You want everything sloped so that it all runs to the floor, and you can complete that clean room environment. Continuously welded edges would, of course, be here in order to seal it. Tops and bottoms are completely sealed. And again, it can be in any of your common steels, including stainless steel. Your watertight vision kits. Here's some pictures of some samples. The one on the lower left is your finished product. On the clean room side, you see there's no seams, nice and clean. Any kind of wash down process can take place on this door with no residue on any shelf. On the lower right would be your non-lab side, your non-clean room side. That is a surface mounted kit. Again, it mimics the view, but it does have some surface bolts to attach that. So we'll roll on to the tools. Just to let you know, ASA ABLE offers direct communication with the specialty team on these products for quoting purposes. You would send those directly into specialtypricing.curries or fill in Seco, Fleming, Service Center, etc. At asable.com. This allows you to get a quick turnaround on your quoting. It doesn't the email does not get lost anywhere in the system. So please take advantage to communicate directly to us when you have quote requests. And again, if you have orders, same thing. Send them right in. Get them in front of the specialty team right away. Make sure they do not get lost in front of somebody else. We don't want them sitting on a desk of somebody that may be on vacation and losing precious time. As we all know, projects are moving at like record pace these days. We want to get that product to you just as quickly as possible. We also have a tech support repository out there, and this is non-branded. This is open to anybody out there with any questions on specialty products. When you're at an architect or a spec writer level or an end user level, they may not know what brand they are working with yet. So this allows them to send in technical questions directly to our team so that we can help you out and give you quick answers. Lead times are announced every Friday afternoon. Any customer who is not receiving these, definitely let us know and we will get you hooked up. Those lead times are updated on a weekly base and are really broke down by product specific so that you can get a really good feel on exactly what your order would look like. We have a quick quote form. If your quote is hotter than hot, we recommend you using our quick quote forms. These quotes are turned around in 24 hours. And in fact, most of them are turned around within hours of receiving that quote request. Again, it's an electronic tool. It's got drop-down menus at all the fill-in blanks and an electronic submit button at the bottom. By using that, it is sent directly into our team, alerting us that it is a QF request and gets put to the top priority and gets quoted and flipped back very quickly. We have multiple supporting documentation for all these products we talked about today, including hardware recommendations, maintenance, installation instructions, troubleshooting guides, storage, and on and on. All of this information is always available. If you cannot find it on any website, please use that technical support email address and that repository. That will get it right to us, and we will send that document that you are requesting right back to you within hours of you asking the question. And as always, never forget to look and request any government regulation requirements on a specific project. These requirements, although we can meet all of them, do change factory of choice on most of them. And there are factory choices that by moving it to a domestic factory, for example, versus a Mexico factory, those costs are increased and it will affect your quote and your project budget. So remember, include these in your requests. Make sure you differentiate between Buy America and Buy American. They are completely different out there. The Buy America is your typical planes, trains, and automobiles. And I'm roughly grouping this stuff, but if it has anything to do with trains, planes, automobiles, airway traffic, railways, etc., that would be your Buy America. Most government jobs are the Buy American. Most of your militaries are Buy American, so keep that in mind. And then there are some other trade agreements that you can keep an eye out there for you. And then finally, the American Iron and Steel, also known as AIS, that would be your waterways, federal dams, that kind of wastewater treatment plants, that kind of product types are probably falling under your AIS requirements. So again, keep that in mind. We want everybody to be happy with their quotes and their product when they hit site, make sure that they meet all the requirements. With that, I'll turn it back to Howard for closing arguments and any questions.
Closing arguments, as if I'm a lawyer. No, thanks. Well done, Mark. And it's three pretty significant products that you were able to stuff into a half an hour. So that's, good stuff. And I know, to everyone out there, it's a lot of information. But we do try to keep it somewhat high level instead of going too deep into the weeds, because we could, talk about these products for hours and hours. But I think that Mark provided just enough information to really give us a nice scope of each of these products, and also the tools that Mark had talked about. I think that the tools are just as important as the products. And like Mark had said, you know, it's all about speed to market, and it's not just material lead times. It's how quickly we're able to respond to customers via our tech support repository, how quickly we're able to get quotes, quote requests quoted via our email repositories and our QQFs or quick quote forms. So the tools that we have created and continue to create, again, are becoming just as important as the products. So good stuff. So
thank you guys. Great job. Thank you everybody for attendance. And please check the ASA ABLOY Academy calendar, the virtual instructor-led training. This month, we're featuring a lot of different door group. And as Howard said, in a few weeks, we've got the right door, right slide and some more other interesting products. So thank you for your attendance, and we hope to see you again soon.
thank you.